Welcome, Bronco Nation. How's everybody feeling tonight? Welcome to another edition of BNL. Tonight we are covering the NCAA brackets. We're currently having a contest for Bronco Nation updates in our pool. If you are a subscriber to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and also Sam Talk Sports, you can maximize your prize winning. First prize is a brand new Boise State football jersey, and then also second and third place gets cash, and also we have some signed cards from Boise State players up for grabs. So if you're a subscriber to, you have to be a subscriber to Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel, and also to maximize that and get Sam's cash, you got to be a subscriber to his channel. Tonight's BNL is brought to you by Blue Elevation, and it is also a Bronco Nation Updates production. I'm Nick Wade. He's Sam Gillette of Sam Talk Sports, and you are watching live on YouTube, on the X, on Facebook, and on TikTok. And if you have any questions or comments during this show, make sure that you put them in the comments in the chat, and we'll put your comment live on the show or answer any questions you have. What's up, Sam?
Oh, not much. Just on the road, enjoying life. You know, the usual.
Where you at tonight?
Tonight, I am in San Antonio. My son's joining the Navy, and he takes his oath tomorrow, so I'm here for that. And then I'm back down to El Dorado, Texas, to finish a job.
Well, congratulations, and tell your boy I said thank you for his willingness to serve our country, and it's a great sacrifice that the military men and women do for us and their families.
Yep.
So thank you.
Yep.
So we're gonna cover the brackets today. As I was saying backstage on the TikTok, we are going to cover the first round of the brackets. And again, if you have not filled out a bracket, if you're not part of the Bronco Nation Updates Challenge, you can find a link. You can find a link in the various media outlets. It's supplied on those marketing posts out there. Just follow the link, create an account, and make your picks before tip off tomorrow. I believe it's at 10:20 Eastern time or 10:20 my time, Mountain time. I think it's like noon Eastern time, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But get you guys' picks in, and if you're a subscriber to the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel and Sam Talk Sports, there's prizes and cash for first, second, and third place.
Right now, I'm at 186 followers. So if between now and tip off tomorrow, we hit that 500 follower mark, the cash increases. So get your friends on and have them go subscribe to the Bronco Nation's Update YouTube channel and to Sam Talk Sports on Facebook and win some money. Especially those that disagree with me. Come take my money.
Yeah. So earlier this week when actually last week when the Boise State Broncos were in the Mountain West tournament, Sam posted a couple hot seat posts online about Coach Rice, and kind of got Sam in the hot seat too with Bronco Nation. Some of the people who disagreed with him, right? So if you have a disagreement with Sam, like, get into this and take his money, man. Like, you want to get back at him for the disagreement, like, get in the brackets and take his cash, like, for real.
Yep.
This is your opportunity.
Yep,
Well,
and it's
speaking
coming out of my bank account too. It's not sponsored money, so
speaking of the brackets, what was your what's your opinion on the Selection Sunday? What did you think about everything that went
I'm
on?
pretty sure the selection committee got high before they made their selections. That's the only explanation. I think the biggest snub, even though they're ranked 51 in the net, I think the biggest snub was probably West Virginia. They've got more quad one wins than North Carolina. Uh, San Diego State, they rode into the tournament on the heels of their win over Houston. So that I kind of disagree with Boise State being left out for that alone because Boise State has wins over Clemson and St. Mary's. San Diego State has wins over, obviously they swept Boise State. So it's just kind of up and down there. There's pros and cons. There's different ways to look at it based on different things. But it just, there was so many head scratchers, like Michigan being a 5 seed, Louisville being an 8 seed. Was it Wisconsin was a 3 seed and they lost to Michigan? So there's just so many head scratchers out there for in the seeding. It's whatever metric they were planning on using, or if they changed it up, they need to not change it up anymore because there's a lot of people out there that don't agree with how it was based on basketball played during the season. Now, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I scratched my head all through Selection Sunday. So
Kristen Mullenix said that your cash is safe because she knows nothing about brackets. So,
well, I will say this.
It's safe.
I will say this: the it's not just the top 3 in the pool that win. If you're following me and subscribe to the YouTube channel, then it's going to be the top 3 that are following and subscribed to both. It's not just going to be if you in the top 3 and you aren't subscribed to Sam Talk Sports. I'm just going to go down in the top 3. That's who's going to get the cash. So even if you don't know anything about brackets, you could still win the cash because other people who do know about brackets may not be subscribed and following. So you still
and also
have a
Kristen, like during the brackets, like there's people who just throw up a dartboard and they win this thing. So it's like it's not like an exact science, but it does help. Like what Sam's been what Sam's been sharing with us, that does help. But like there are times where people just they pick based on the mascots or something like that, and they end up winning the thing. So
team colors, whose uniforms look the best.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's even if I don't win, I have fun just playing it and seeing where everybody else is like landing on like with because it's fun to pick upsets and stuff like that. So like this year's been a little bit different because me and Sam have been kind of going through this bracketology for weeks now. So going into this bracket challenge, I'm probably more versed up than I ever have before, but I'm still always going to be recency biased. It's something you can't take out of me.
Look at it now. You're more versed up than you ever have been before, and watch you do the worst you've ever done.
So thank you, Kristen, for following us on YouTube. We really appreciate it. It really helps. It's actually going to help out Boise State with the way that we share the revenue with them, with the views and likes and all that. So thank you so much for following us, Kristen. Appreciate it.
Well, shall we get into the bracket?
I'll just one note for me about the selection. Going into that, I really was hoping that, Boise State would have better of a chance. I really didn't have like my hopes up just because of the way that they lost in the Mountain West Championship. I think if they would have done a little bit better, if it was a little bit less lopsided as it was. They
Right,
might have had a
right.
really good, a little better sniff, but having San Diego State in there, I do think West Virginia got ripped, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But if anything, I think they probably should have been in and San Diego State out. But what really also hurt us is in the regular season, San Diego State took 2 from us. So
yeah.
that really hurt us. So it
And
didn't
the Boston
surprise me.
College loss as well.
Yeah, that too. But
Whenever I
had
saw
we
when I saw North Carolina in, I knew that we were out. There's just too many other bubble teams, and Xavier in Texas on the other side. That one got me too. Uh, I I didn't think that they had enough in it. But with the
but
SEC and the Big East coming on strong at the end of the year.
But
Uh,
we've been talking about this for weeks, with
yep,
those guys right there in the bubble too. It's like we knew that there was a chance, a potential that these blue
yep,
bloods were going to take our spot, and that's what
yep,
happened. Like that's why Xavier's in, that's why Texas is in, that's why North Carolina's in. Like
yep. I
so,
think the only way you get rid of the blue blood try that again. Try saying that fast 5 times. Blue blood bias. I can't even do it slow. The only way you get rid of the blue blood bias is if you take 12 mid majors who have been eliminated from postseason contention, and that's your committee. That's the only way you're going to get rid of the bias, in my opinion. So,
yeah, and I do think that you can't have the AD of North Carolina
yeah,
on the committee. I mean, and
right.
he's getting paid too. Like
Yeah,
he got a bonus for making the tournaments. Like that reeks of
yep.
impropriety to me.
And
Like,
you,
come
you
on,
can tell, you can
nah,
say that
not
he's
cool.
been not on the or wasn't in the room while they were discussing it, which that's how it's supposed to be. When you're discussing your institution, you're not supposed to be in the room. That's that.
Mm.
But you have a camaraderie. I cannot talk tonight. Camaraderie with the other committee members, and and they know. I mean, you can't tell me that he didn't say, "Hey, if North Carolina gets in, I get a boost. So why don't you just shove us in there right there at the end? Just sneak us in. We're close enough. We can. It won't look fishy when it does." So I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm not saying it didn't happen either because it reeks like you
Yeah,
said.
it's no different from a nepo. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same thing as nepotism, right? I mean, they're
Yep.
all, they all have a relationship somehow, some way. So come on, like really, you don't think that your friends are going to go, oh, let's put in North Carolina? Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I don't buy
Right.
it at all.
Yeah.
So, but
The steak dinner would get
it
me
is
to
what
vote
it
for
is.
him.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is, and Boise State just needed to win more, right?
Yep.
We
Yep.
elite teams win their conference home games, and we didn't.
Yep.
We didn't do that. We lost against San
Yep.
Diego State, and we lost against Colorado State. So,
Yep.
um, as far as everything else, it doesn't affect me. It affects West Virginia most of all. So,
Right.
and
Right.
there's nothing I can do about that.
Nope.
So, you want to talk about brackets now?
Let's do it. Let's go to the South.
All right,
The
let's go to
South's
the
going to rise
South. All
again.
right, let me.
So Auburn, even though they lost their tournament, they won 3 or lost 3 of their last 4 games. They still retained the number 1 seed, and that's solely based on they were putting more stock in regular season than postseason tournaments, which you saw in the CFP. They did that as well in football. They didn't punish you for playing in a championship game with SMU, obviously, still getting in. So Auburn retaining their number 1 spot, I'm okay with that. They dominated all year. You get to the finish line and you got your number 1 spot locked. You kind of take your foot off the gas. You get ready, you rest up, and you get ready to dominate the tournament again. So I don't disagree with Auburn as a number 1 seed. Head scratcher with Louisville at 8. Um, the, again, the committee, whatever they were thinking. I don't know, but Louisville should have been way higher than 8. I would have even gone as far as putting them in a 4 or a 5 spot over A&M or Michigan. Michigan at 5, that was another one. They should have been a 3 seed, in my opinion. So, Nick, who in this top region, the South region, what would you say would be your upset matchup?
So for me, let's see, where were we at here? I
put you on the spot.
So
I'll
for
go ahead and
me,
let you. Yeah.
no, I got it. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I was in the right one. So,
Yeah.
when they let North Carolina in, I knew they were going to be an upset. So, and I knew they were going to beat San Diego State, or it had a really good chance of doing that.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that the 11, for me is an upset that I'm rolling with, and that's what I'll say about that.
I can see that. I just hope they didn't, for your sake, not for my money's sake. I hope they put too much out against San Diego State. It doesn't look like they did, though. They had a pretty easy time with them. I still have Ole Miss going over North Carolina, so that'll be fun to watch and see who's right there. For me, it's Cal State, San Diego over Michigan. That's my.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things from analysts about UC San Diego.
Yep, and yeah, I think I said Cal State. I meant UC. you know what I meant. You can see it on the screen. But yeah, I think they're poised. They beat UC Irvine twice, and won there, or might have been 3 times. I don't remember if they split in the regular season or not. But they're good. They can shoot the ball really well as well. If Michigan doesn't get physical with them, it's gonna. I think they're gonna take it. The only thing that concerns me with my pick there is if Michigan comes out with a fire lit under their tail for being a 5th seed instead of somewhere higher. But that's my upset pick in this side of the bracket is UC San Diego over Michigan. And then I also have New Mexico over Marquette. New Mexico's playing really good ball. Donovan Dent, I think he's can really cause some trouble for Marquette. And I think the Mountain West, New Mexico gets the Mountain West into the round of 32.
I think I chose New Mexico, but I did. I chose New Mexico on this one. Yeah. I think I went the 2 Mountain West teams that I went with were them and Colorado State, because Colorado State's hot. But we'll get to that a little bit later.
All right. Final question on the South bracket. What is your most anticipated matchup?
I am, either the 8 and 9, or I'm interested to see I think the Louisville Creighton is the one that I'm kind of looking at.
I think that's going to be a really clean matchup there. Really evenly spaced teams. That was one of my coin flips. I ended up going Louisville, but I could have went either way with that one. Another one I'm interested to watch
I went Creighton.
Nice. Another one I'm interested to watch is Ole Miss.
I went Creighton just because of recency bias. I saw them in I saw them in the Big East championship with the Johnnies, so it's like, all right, I'll pick them.
Yep, and it's
so you also
like the North Carolina Ole Miss game, just to see how North Carolina handles the pressure of coming in as what most outside of North Carolina perceive as an undeserving bid. See if they can prove the haters wrong.
So we have multi apples.
Multi apples.
He's talking about
nice.
Multi. Yeah. I don't know if he's talking about the whole thing, but if you just keep following along, you'll see where we're going with our picks.
Going on to the West bracket, Florida got the number 1 overall seed there. They're deserving, well deserving, and St. John's got the 2 seed. I don't think there was that big of a head scratcher. I think this was probably the best seeded outside of Arkansas getting in as a 10 seed. I don't think Arkansas is a 10 seed. They were a bottom bubble seed for me in my bracketology, and they got in as a 10 seed. I could see 11 or a 12 seed, but not a 10 seed. That was probably and Kansas as high as a 7 seed. I probably would have had them more in the 8-9 area, maybe even the 10, but it is what it is. Who do you see as the upset here? I think I can guess since you already touched on it.
Actually, I think now that I see it, I did not pick Colorado State.
Ooh.
I chose Memphis.
Gotcha.
As far as
who's the best chance for an upset then?
On here, for me, I don't have any respect for Kansas.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they should have been a 7. I don't even think they should have been a 10. That's how much I don't respect them. So for me, I chose Arkansas because I'm a big Calipari fan. I liked how he went into North Carolina, or no, not North Carolina, but Kentucky, and took care of business there. And I think I'm rolling with Arkansas a couple rounds. So for me, I think my big upset on here is Arkansas over Kansas, which isn't saying a lot. I mean, it's just a 10 over 7.
So unlike you, hey, Alexandra.
Hi, Alex.
I did take Colorado State over Memphis, just like Alex.
That makes 2 of you.
They're just playing way too great a ball right now. My only concern is Memphis shutting down Neek Clifford. That because I think if he gets shut down, who does Colorado State go to create those scorings that we saw way too much of against Boise State? So that'd be my only concern there. I also have Drake beating Missouri as another upset. Yeah.
That's a good
Drake's
one.
playing really good. They were the first team to 30 wins this year. Granted, they're in a lesser conference, but that's still a feat no matter what conference. Yeah. So, what matchup are you most excited for?
Well, I just want to say, with your upset, that one right there could be one that can, if it goes into fruition, that's one that, like, I've seen people like that kind of pick. Win the bracket because they got something like that one right. Right. And that's how much I think about Missouri. I'm high on Missouri. So, but again, like you reminded me that Drake is really good. And I actually remember just about a week ago, I heard him on the Jim Rome show. And when you're on the Jim Rome show, you get good karma. So that's going for Drake. So for me, I would say, which matchup do I like the best? I like the 8-9 again. I like the 8-9, but I actually am more intrigued with the St. John's game, just because I chose them to go pretty far up into the bracket, and I want to see if there's any hangover from the Big East championship. So for
Right.
me, it's just a selfish kind of thing of like seeing,
Yeah.
hey, where are they, how are
And
they gonna do? But other than that, it would probably be the
yeah.
Oklahoma
And Omaha's not
UConn
playing
game.
bad basketball right now either. They could probably make it a game. Will they win? I don't know. But they could make it a game if anyone can make it a game on any one of these matchups. We've seen 16 takes down ones and 15's down twos. I mean, anyone can beat anybody any given day. So it could be a fun matchup. I
And
like the 8-9 with
I
UConn
picked
and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked Oklahoma because at first
Ooh,
at the first of the season I had that recency bias for
right.
the defending champs back to back, and I said until they can prove otherwise, I'm going to go with them. They were in my top four for a while, and then
Yeah.
I they fizzled on me. So I really don't. They're kind of like the Kansases, that those ones that kind of like they fizz out, and so I just don't have any confidence that they're going to make a deep run.
Yeah. Oklahoma's got wins over Arizona, Louisville, Michigan, and Arkansas, Missouri, Texas, and Georgia for their quad one wins. Their worst loss that they have is against LSU at home. They lost by 3. And LSU's a quad 3 team. They got wins over Mississippi State. So I can see Oklahoma over UConn. However, I did pick UConn. If UConn believe that. uh, I'm a dad. I can make dad jokes. UConn's got wins over Baylor, Texas, Gonzaga, Marquette, Creighton, Marquette. They swept Marquette. Their worst loss was a road loss by 1 point to Seton Hall. He was ranked 211 in the net. So both schools have a quad 3 loss. Both schools have decent wins. So it'll be a good one. I lost my bracket. I got to find my bracket. Hold on. Oh. There it is. Found it.
So one of the reasons I took Memphis over Colorado State is because Memphis is just as hot as Colorado State is right now.
Yeah.
I believe so. And I was thinking the same lines as you, is if they can if they can limit Nick Clifford, that kind of makes Colorado State kind of a almost one-dimensional after that. So
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But I do look for like upsets like that, a 12 versus a 5. Like, so
Yeah.
if you're out there and you guys are thinking about doing a bracket for the Bronco Nation Updates bracket challenge, like stuff like that will separate you from the field. Like if you nail one of these Cinderellas or an underdog, you can really get up on the competition. So
I see Colorado
that's
State
something
being
that
able. Yeah, I see Colorado State being able to make that run that San Diego State made a couple of years ago. Maybe not as far, but they have the potential to get into the Sweet 16 or beyond. Whether or not they get there,
and I agree. I think if they can get past Memphis, they got a good shot at that, because then
Yeah.
they're looking at probably Maryland, or
yeah,
if there's an upset in there against Grand Canyon. So
I almost picked Grand Canyon too. I was this close to doing it.
Whoa! Have you seen the prices of eggs lately? Are you interested in healthy alternative? Whoa! Have you seen the prices of eggs lately? Are you interested in healthy alternatives? Check out Rowdy Farms for your fresh quail egg subscription and quail farm side hustle. Alexis is very helpful in educating and raising quail and setting up gardening for Treasure Valley residents. Get a hold of her at rowdyfarmsllc@gmail.com.
Quail eggs, huh? I like quail.
Yeah, there's a niche in there, and there's a lot. You know how people actually, I guess they're supposed to be. They have more protein in them, and a lot of people raise them, and they have show quail and all sorts of stuff. It's kind of neat.
Nice. Shall we go talk about the East region?
Yeah.
So Duke got the number 1 overall in the East. Well deserving. They actually, in my final top 25 until the end of tournament season, Duke made their number 1 appearance by just under 1 full point. I think it's like 0.96 or something like that. I'd have to pull it up and look. So I was actually quite surprised that they didn't put Duke in as the number 1 overall after Auburn's fall off at the end of the year. But it is what it is. Duke got the number 1 and Alabama got the number 2. And I tell you what, a Duke Alabama matchup would probably put 200 points up on the board between the two of them. I think that has potential to be a high scoring game if it comes down to it. Head scratcher on this side of the bracket was Vanderbilt at number 10. They were another one that maybe should have been an 11 or 12 if they got in at all. To have them at a number 10, I think, was a slap again to West Virginia and some of the other more deserving bubble teams. Let me see if I can pull Vandy up here real quick. Oh, I don't like the dead air. Vanderbilt. There we go. So they were the last team from the SEC to get in. They were third to last. They had wins over Tennessee, Kentucky, Ole Miss, A&M, and Missouri. And they didn't have any bad losses, though. So, ranked 48 in the net. I still think they were, as a 10 seed, they were up too high, but we've been talking all year long about how powerful the SEC is, how great their conference is this year. And I believe that's what put 14 teams into the 14 of 16 SEC teams into the field. I know it's never happened before because they broke the record. 14 teams. Imagine joining a conference and going, hey, all you got to do is be outside the bottom 2 and you're going to get into the tournament. That's ridiculous. I still don't think they should have been a 10 seed, though. I think 11 or 12 would have served them better. But it is what it is. All right, Nick, you know the routine. Who's your upset pick over here in the East region?
Let's see. So I kind of looked at this a little bit different here. Because I thought, so for me, like picking like a BYU or picking a St. Mary's is kind of like an upset, right?
Yeah.
The smaller school, not known for, I mean, not St. Mary's, but like BYU, they're not real known for their basketball.
Right, more football.
So, Yeah, so for me, and then going against Vanderbilt, I mean, they're well established. They've got a great reputation. They're a power school. So for me, I mean, it's not necessarily like a seed upset, but um, you know, um, I gave St. Mary's kind of the same kind of respect I usually do for Gonzaga. So
Yeah,
for me, it's that. If you're talking about seeds, um, I think the um, I did pick. I think I picked Baylor over
nice.
Miss. Um, so as
That
far as
that has a shot
upsets,
to happen.
if you're not looking at seeds and you're looking at small in St. Mary's.
Yeah, I picked VCU over Baylor or BYU. That's my upset. Don't ask me why. I just felt like it. There's no
Yeah,
logical reason for
I
me to
mean,
do it.
that's the thing though. In that one, well, so VCU to me has again, I run off of recency bias, right? So
Yeah,
um, VCU to me, like literally in that game, it could be a toss up.
yeah,
Um, but I just remember um, BYU hammering. Was it Kansas? I think it was
yeah,
Kansas.
yeah.
Um, they boat raced them, so that's why I chose BYU. But VCU is a basketball, um, is a basketball school. So to me, that's why I thought picking BYU is kind of an upset in that regard.
I would really enjoy watching Duke and Mount St. Mary's, especially if Mount St. Mary's makes that a game. For my bracket purposes, I hope that doesn't happen. But to see a Mount St. Mary's upset Duke, I have a coworker who turned me on to Mount St. Mary's in our tech week that we have every year. And so I've been following them, going, why does this guy like this school so much? And I can see why. They are a scrappy bunch of players, and if there's a 16 seed in the field that's going to knock off a number one seed, it's going to be Mount St. Mary's. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I hope it doesn't. I have Duke going pretty far into the tournament. Probably a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it happens, then it'll bust. A lot of people's that
Oh yeah.
quadrant. Um, we won't be the only ones, and that's the kind of thing that that's the kind of things that happens about. You don't really have to know a lot about this. If you get lucky and you pick a 16 over a 1 and it happens, then um, and say you're picking it relatively the same as the rest in the pool, then you got a good chance at placing 1, 2, or 3 in the pool. So
Yep.
that's the beauty of brackets, and the thing I love about it is like it gives the people that don't even know anything about basketball a chance to win a a
Yeah.
contest.
Yep. So that's my game to watch for the East bracket. What game do you want are most intrigued with?
For me, let's see. Oh, you know what? Did I choose? I can't remember. I may have an upset. I
Oh
I
yeah.
may have chose Montana over
Oh.
Wisconsin. I think I did.
Oh.
I think I did.
Explain yourself.
Here, let me. I don't want. Here, let me look first. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because I want
All
to
right.
double check my pick.
So
So
Montana
let me.
over Wisconsin. Let's while you're doing that, let me pull up some facts. Uh so Montana is 143rd. out of the Big Sky, 25-9.
No.
Their best win is against Northern Colorado as a quad 2 win. They're 0-4 against quad 1, including a 57-92 loss to Tennessee. They do have an 83-95 loss to Utah State, so they made it close there. And San Francisco, they had a close loss there. They were a perfect 17-0 in quad 4 because 90% of their conference is quad 4. They're 4-3 in quad 3. So
I
that
just
is a
double checked,
very
and
bold.
I didn't. I was on
Okay.
the fence about that. So no, I
That would have
took
that would have
I
been
took Wisconsin.
that would have been the boldest of bold if that would have happened.
I mean,
I
but I have done stuff like that in the past.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have, and it's worked out.
I mean, you look at points per game. I mean, they're right there within 3 points of each other. Opponents' points per game, they're within 2. So I mean, it has potential if Montana can get some hot streaks going and overcome Wisconsin's size. I mean, I've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, I mean, we saw. Let's see, was it Virginia who got taken down by a 16?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Yeah, and I believe I picked that one way back then. That's
nice.
something. That's why I was like looking at that, going, you know what? Did I do that? Because that would not be out of the ordinary for me.
Right.
You know.
Final number 1 seeds down in the Midwest with Houston, another well-deserved number 1, and San Diego State. The only reason I believe they got into the play-in game is because of their win over Houston. But watching how North Carolina played last week, I don't think Boise State stood a chance against them anyway. So kind of relieved that we didn't have to play them. North Carolina came out firing last night. Number 2 seed in the Midwest was Tennessee. A Tennessee-Houston matchup in the Elite Eight. I am here for it. I think that has potential to be a really good game. Head scratchers for me on this one. I don't think I had one, to be honest. Let me see. Nope, I did. The Texas Xavier game. Again, 2 schools that I don't think should have been in over West Virginia. I could see taking one or the other, but not both of them. Regardless, whoever wins that game, I have beaten Illinois anyway. So it's let's see. Did Texas win? Did it not show up yet? Because I just pulled up the graphic and it's showing Texas and not Xavier. I know they're playing.
It is. Is that with the 2?
It's the play-in game. Nope. It's a good one. There's 3. It's the play-in game, the 6 versus 11 over Illinois. Looks like Xavier's up 78-76 with 3:14 to play in the game, and that's on True TV for those of you that want to tune in and watch it. Sounds like it's a good game.
So I went bold on this one, man.
Tell me about it.
I did. I went bold. Let me get back to this blank one.
Because I went bold as well.
Yeah.
Probably not as bold as you.
I went at 14.
Ooh, I did not go that bold. Troy over UK. Ooh.
Yep. I don't
like it.
I just for whatever reason I just don't have a lot of respect for Kentucky this year. You know, you had John Calipari come in there and pretty much own the house that he built for the last several years on his first year with Arkansas. So I just thought maybe, you know, it's ripe for, you know, an upset over a blue blood.
Let's look at this. Let's see. Troy, 99 in the net. Their worst loss was to the Raging Cajuns. They're ranked 320 in the net. They split with them in the regular season. They have two other quad three losses with Texas State and Merrimack, who is a good ball club. They're just not great. Let's see. They lost to Arkansas 65-49, Oregon 82-61, and Houston 62-42. And a 1 point loss in quad two to South Alabama. They beat Arkansas State twice in quad two. They picked up their game at the end of the year. So some of these losses, I don't think they came towards the end of the year because they were playing good ball. Kentucky's 11-10 versus quad one, 1-1 versus quad two, and perfect against 3 and 4. So yes, Nick, that is a very, very bold. I'm here for it. I wish you the best of luck.
and that was like, as you can tell, I went from left to right. So yeah. I went down, and then so I got to this last one. I'm like, I haven't done anything bold. So Troy it is.
I will see your Troy, and I will raise you a high point over Purdue.
Woo!
Yeah. High point out of the Big South is 29-5, ranked 82. They only have one quad 1 and 2 game, and they beat North Texas 76-71. They're 8-3 versus quad 3 and 18-2 versus quad 2. They have a 3-point loss against Norfolk State, who's in the tournament, and a 10-point loss to Missouri State. As the Norfolk is their worst loss, and Norfolk's in the tournament, so they got that going for them. They have losses against UNC Greensboro, UNC Asheville, and Longwood, all of which were in contention to be in the tournament if they won their conference. All had a shot at winning their conference championship. So their losses aren't to bad teams, even though they're in those quadrants, and they're playing really good ball right now. Purdue ranks 19 in the net. They're 7-10 versus quad 1, 9-1 versus quad 2, and perfect against quad 3 and 4. So, yes, we both have some bold predictions, bold picks in this final bracket. So, what game stands out to you? Which one are you most excited to watch?
Let me see. I always like a good Gonzaga game.
Yeah.
We got. Who'd you pick in the UCLA Utah State?
I got UCLA. Utah State's just they're falling off here at the end of the year, and they're just not playing good basketball.
I was going to say if Utah State was doing better, that might be a good one to watch.
Yeah, if I wanted to pick them just for the Mountain West connection, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
So I would say one that I'm looking forward to see in the first round here in this squad is the Gonzaga Georgia game, just because I always root for Gonzaga. They're a regional favorite for me. They're just upstairs in Spokane, and for this right here, you got you had all but 2 SEC teams make the tournament. So I'm interested to see how Gonzaga lines up with Georgia, an 8-10 in conference team. I know that I chose Gonzaga, and I think I chose them to go up pretty far. And I usually do, and that's kind of my recency bias part of it. So, and just they're one of my I like to root, we're from Boise State, so I like to root
Yeah.
for the underdog, and they're even though they're kind of a powerhouse in basketball, they're still the underdog to me.
I
Kristen
actually
says
had
she can't remember who she
picked. You pick the winner. That's whether you pick the winner or not. You pick the winner. I actually, before the start of this show, actually before about an hour before the start of the show, I had two upsets in this with McNeese State beating Clemson as well, which would set up a 12-13 in the round of 32. But McNeese State's coach Will Wade accepted the North Carolina State job, and that brings distraction to a team. Had they waited to announce that prior to the game, or until after the game, or until after they were knocked out, I might have still had that upset. But I don't know if a coaching that coaching news would change the outcome of that game or not. So I went with a safe bet for Clemson. So that's my game to watch. McNeese State out of the Southland, they're playing really good. They dominated the Southland, and I think that they were one of the last few remaining undefeated conference teams this year. So that's going to be a fun game, I think.
The coach, hence the coach getting nabbed by North Carolina State.
Yep.
Kind of happens when you go undefeated,
Yeah, they were 27-6 in the Southland. Clemson obviously 27-6, but they were in the Big East or ACC, so considerably better conference. So it's got potential to be an upset still, if the team rallies around and plays one more game for the coach, kind of thing. So But the distraction around any program with players leaving or coming or going, players and coaches, it affects the players. They may say that it doesn't, but it does. So I switched my pick over to Clemson on that one.
Well, everyone, you guys have about 13 hours to get your picks in. So make sure that, you find the posts online at any of the platforms, on Bronco Nation Updates on Instagram, or on Facebook, or on X. Follow that link. Set up a profile. Make your picks before 10:20 Mountain Time, so that you can win cash and prizes for this. Have fun, and it's a good way to get to know each other. And we're going to continue to do these Bronco Nation live shows and covering like round by round. I mean, we've been doing this for a while, like previewing and reviewing all this. Sam Talk Sports has put a lot of work into this. There's 360 some teams. 364 teams in college basketball, and Sam has been doing the formula for basically all of them, all of the leagues, all the teams. So, he's been sharing a wealth of information for us. And, normally I would have more wild picks, but since I've been following along and learning with Sam, I'm kind of tame this year. So, 14's the best you're going to get out of me this year. So make sure you go to, the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's free. And then this whole thing is free. And if you win, then you get cash and prizes. So do that. Get in, get your picks done. Like I said, you have about 13 hours, maybe a little bit less now, because tip-off is like 12:20 Eastern time, I think, tomorrow. So get your picks in tonight or early tomorrow. Anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure that you're sharing this video. Share it with your friends. The more we get in here, the better. It's more fun. I promise you, it's fun. So, and then watch it. Just watch it unfold, and and sometimes you'll be amazed on how well you do, and didn't even know what you were doing. I've been there. So make your picks.
Yep.
After this, we're gonna be talking about the Broncos in the Crown tournament too, as well. Right now, we're in a limbo for a couple of weeks. It doesn't start until March 31st. In the first round, we are taking on George Washington, I believe. Is that correct?
George Washington or George Mason? One of the Georges.
I think it's George Washington. I think George Mason is playing the
NIT. They're NIT, yeah.
But yeah, I do hear that George Washington is pretty hot right now too. They've had some pretty good wins.
They are. They're probably on the Bubbles bubble, if that makes any sense. I'd put them on the NIT bubble. Let's put it that way. So, just to touch on a point real quick, if you're following both Sam Talk Sports on Facebook and subscribe to Bronco Nation updates on YouTube, and you get first place, you get a brand new Boise State football jersey and $100 cash, which I can give you Cash App, Venmo, or a gift card. If you get second place, you get 75 cash and some signed Boise State football cards. Third place, you get 25 cash. If Sam Talk Sports gets 500 followers before tip-off, which we have a long way to go, so tell all your friends to join up and follow. You don't have to tell them to enter into the contest so you have a better chance to win, but tell them to follow. If we get 500 followers, first place goes up to 150 cash, second 100, and third 50 of my cold hard cash that you can steal from me. Well, still win from me. So make sure that happens. Nick, I know you're ready to get on with your evening, but I have one final question for you. Who's your final four?
My final four is they're all number one seeds.
Ooh, the number ones. No imagination. It's all right. I got ones and twos. I got Michigan State, Florida, Alabama, and Houston. Yeah. Michigan State, Florida, Alabama, and Houston are my final four. And I think I've had all four of those teams winning the national championship in this one bracket at one point, and I've changed it. So I really think the top six, I think you've got Michigan State, Florida, Alabama, Houston. Where's the other one? Auburn. There we go. And Duke. Those six can, I believe, any one of them can win it all. So I'll probably change it out a couple more times before tip off tomorrow too. So we'll just have to see. But right now, my final four is Michigan, Florida, Alabama, and Houston.
Not bad. Well, anyway, for Sam and me, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you, Kristen, for participating. You're going to have fun. I want to thank everybody who participated today. And then make sure that you are sharing our content, because it helps out Boise State with revenue sharing, with the views and likes and such. Anyway, until next time, go Broncos.
Yep.
Bronco Nation Live is brought to you by Blue Elevation and the Serving Bronco Nation directory. Hey, Bronco Nation, if you're looking for more followers, clients, or customers, check out ServingBroncoNation.com and get your business added to the directory. When you purchase a tax-deductible plan, you are investing in Boise State and getting access to millions of views throughout the year on the directory and the Bronco Nation network.
Fight for the soul, my the orange and blue. Boys will stand and cheer for you. Fight for institution, our alma mater. Bravely defending BSU. confusion and set the attention for me as you.